After a day, has it been a day of not playing? Ah, forget it. Cartel Market. Ooh, Elite Guard. Ooh, it's expensive. There's no preview? Use right-click to open this bundle. Huh. Alright. I'm just going to be playing a little bit today, not too, just a few minutes, maybe about 30 minutes. We'll see. Okay, got to travel to Taris. So to recap, apparently my character is under mind control. And my mouth does not work, which is actually normal for me. And I thought maybe it's Watcher X that did it, and now after watching the video I made last time.
Codename Leggett calling base command. Come in, base command.
Base command here. Patching secondary stream.
Codename Chance here. Ready for mission briefing.
You two met on Nar Shaddaa, so I'll skip the introductions. Welcome to Taris. 1,000 years of civilization reduced to toxic muck.
Fill me in on the operation.
A long time ago, Taris was a republic world. A Sith Lord bombed it. Now we're trying to rebuild, and the Empire's unhappy.
Your people said shock troops. Devastator units.
It's a mess. The last thing we need is a rogue element, but that's what we've got. Along with Sith and Republic troops, there's a corrupt Jedi down there. You're going to stop her.
I thought Jedi were supposed to be incorruptible.
They're not perfect, but they're supposed to know better. Ki Sazen, Jedi Knight and hero of Tazla. Rising star in the Jedi Order, but she's rotten to the core. Half her missions end with someone dying. Technology and artifacts disappear from under her protection.
Her last report said she'd come to Taris because the Force called her here.
I believe Ki Sazen is building a power base. I need you to find out how and why, and bring me hard evidence.
I should just
Why
kill
bother
her.
with evidence? I can solve your problem with one shot.
If it comes to that, do it. But I want her brought to justice if possible. Chance will be your contact. He'll take it from here.
Yes, sir. Surveilling Ki Sazen has been difficult, but we believe she recently mounted a raid on an Empire-controlled laboratory. We'll begin our investigation there. You need to obtain access to the laboratory from Imperial Command.
Suppose I refuse? Can Agent Chance force me to obey?
Chance may be young, but he has all the experience and authority he needs. Now, get to work, both of you. Base command out.
Sir, I'll monitor your holocalls to track the investigation. I'll be in touch soon.
Okay. I was saying first, I thought it was Watcher X that was the one who implanted something in me, but apparently my character has some kind of conditioning.
Greetings, Master. You're looking fit and deadly, as always.
Damn straight I am. Apparently it's, yeah, some conditioning, so I'm guessing it's from the Imperial side somehow. Nope, looks like there's still... Is that the same Taris animation from before? As I mentioned before, some of these planets, they go ahead and they update the animation to the planet. They mean lizard people, of course, lizard people. No, the developers. The lizard people work on this game. They're not doing a very good job. Alright, so you find and kill a Jedi, but don't kill the Jedi first. Alright, so the story I'm going to tell today. Okay, when I first moved to Seattle, well, moved back to Seattle because I was born in this Seattle area. When I first moved back to Seattle, I was staying with my dad's widow. Again, another story. My dad died. I stayed with his widow after he died. And after being with her, lived with her like 7, 8 months. Well, after living with her after, a few weeks, I was like, I need out of here. So I got my own place. I got an apartment in, where do I need to go? Oh, over here, okay. So yeah, I got my own apartment in North Seattle, because that's kind of, you know, where I used to hang out. It's about where my dad lived, and kind of know the area. So I got my own apartment, and I didn't have a car yet, and I had a car, but it got destroyed before I left. Walla Walla.
Attention on deck!
I'm tracking a Jedi, and I need immediate access to the research laboratory in this sector.
You're talking about the Godera laboratory?
Apologies, sir. I didn't realize you were coming. Lieutenant Nida, liaison officer.
Cypher 9. You run a tight ship.
Thank you, sir. And you are...
I'm your mother, with a shaved head and an assault rifle. Breeze off.
Not everyone here would appreciate that tone.
Contacting the laboratory for clearance, sir.
Your associate should be at the lab already. He took a security team about a week ago. You'll find it in good hands.
I wasn't expecting anyone. You may have a security breach on your hands.
Sir, he was from Imperial Intelligence. His credentials were in order.
I can't pick up anything from the laboratory comm, but there's something on a secondary channel.
To base, Dr. Loken is safe, but the rat ghouls are everywhere. Orange-level infestation. We'll attempt to...
Get it back!
I can't. Our team must have been overrun by the rat ghouls. We'll have to burn the whole lab.
No one does anything until I understand the situation.
The Rak ghouls are mutants, victims of a Tarisian plague that alters human physiology.
Standing orders are to cluster bomb nest sites to contain the infestation.
You want to reach the lab to track your Jedi, you'll be facing a swarm. I can't offer anything but aerial bombardment.
Your security officer said Dr. Loken was safe. Who's Dr. Loken?
He's the intelligence officer I mentioned. I don't know much else. If you need him, I can put the bombers on hold, but you'll have to clear the rat ghouls manually.
You take me to the best places. We go looking for a Jedi, you show me a rat ghoul nest.
Yep. Stick with me, baby. That's what we do. Find trouble. And trouble finds us. So yeah, so I go ahead and move into my first apartment, you know, here in Seattle area. I don't have a car yet, and that's okay. You know, almost everything's within walking distance, or at least taking a bus. Not that bad. But the problem is, the area I live in, it's high for, oh, it's like, why does that be? Oh, yeah. It has a high prostitution area. And the way I know that, besides the fact I run into a few of them later, is that there's signs all over. It says prostitution watch area. Like, oh, come from small town. I, never seen those before. And okay. And yeah, I got like a proposition maybe once or twice. And it wasn't like anything big. Like, okay, so some single guy walking down the street, ask, nope, okay, move on. Simple as that. But having no car meant that, so, okay, I try to link these up together. Okay, so, my mom's brother, my uncle, him and his family did go ahead and have me over for dinner, every couple weeks. And, because I didn't have a car and they live pretty far away. Not far, I could take a bus, but it'd take a bus a good, 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Because one thing about this Seattle area is, buses don't run. The bus routes are not made to be that easy. Okay, maybe not easy is not the word. So basically, you need to get from point A to point B. If it's not downtown, chances are you have to connectors. You're going to have to go ahead and walk a bit, a couple miles here and there, and yeah. So it's not like you can get point A to point B very easily, and especially when you back then, you try to go anywhere north or east. If you weren't going south, south was pretty easy. South had a lot of buses. Still does, kind of. So, so when it came down to it, I had no way to get to their place unless I wanted to walk and take 30, 45 minutes just to get there. Whereas, him driving it take maybe 10. So, him be my uncle, or my cousin, or my aunt, one of them would come pick me up. Like, hey, let's go dinner. Let's go to dinner. And like, okay, sure. They'd come pick me up and go over. We'd go do dinner together. I'd come hang out for a bit, whatever. Usually it's my cousin if she was home from college. But yeah, so this is so my uncle used to drive a Cadillac, and I don't know if you even know. Some of you probably understand where this story's going at this point. Yeah, he used to drive a Cadillac, and it's a nice, not bad Cadillac. Not a very fancy Cadillac either. But it was, it ran, and now it's all it needed.
Oh my god, I think I throw up.
Okay, my cat just puked, and I'll be right back. All right, that was quite an experience. Okay, apparently there's more. Alright, hopefully that's it. I thought I had it cleaned up. It wasn't a lot of puke. It was like a little bit of, it was like a spit up. Yeah, this is what it means to have pets and kids. And any of you are single right now or like, you know, our house would be great with kids and pets. This is what you got to put up with. This is what you got to look forward to. Put up with. Gotta put up with it. Puke. Lots of puke. If you can't deal with it, then trust me, don't have kids or pets because you will have to deal with it. Oh my gosh, I lost track of how much puke I've had to clean up just since, you know, geez, before I had my kid. Oh, but it's fine. Sorry about the... Yeah, life keeps interrupting me when I'm just trying to play my game. Alright, so getting back to my story, which is not as exciting as what just happened in real life, or happened in real time. So yeah, my uncle, he's, you know, he's got a nice, you know, got a pretty nice, yeah. Now I can't think of what I'm going to say. Cadillac. But it's an older Cadillac. And he, as he's, you know, he goes to drop me off, and as he's pulling away, the police pull him over. And yeah, pull him over like, yeah, you're a middle-aged man inside of a Cadillac, inside of an area known for prostitution. We, you know, kind of have a little plausible, you know, so they start asking him, like, what are you doing around here? You know, and he's like, oh, I'm just dropping my nephew off. And they're like, oh, okay. Where does he live? And he's like, oh, he lives like right over here in these apartments. And like, okay, you know, just checking. I thought that maybe he would.
Make me look good.
Yeah, so he had to call me up right after it happened. He's like, oh, he goes, you will not believe what happened. I was like, yeah, try me. So told me about that, and I just laughed. He's like, yep. I said, oh, I'm sorry. And he goes, no. He goes, that's actually not, you know. He goes, kind of funny. I got a nice little story. So, you know, every time I, you know, to this day talk to him, like, yeah, I remember that time you got pulled over, dropped me off. It was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. That's why. It's like late night on a weekend. Ooh, security chest. I wasn't going to go in there, but I might just do it for this one. You know, let's do it for this one. You take one of these. Take some of this. Explode some of these guys. Oh, I got a couple of them in here. All right. I didn't realize I had two strongs. I only seen the one of them. Yeah, so I lived in that apartment for not a good couple of years. Honestly, it wasn't a bad place. You know what I loved about that apartment though? There was a place right kind of like behind us, the apartment. It's kind of weird because I mean, they weren't really behind the apartment as much as the apartment was behind like the strip mall. Okay, that's a better way to put it. The apartment was behind a strip mall, and in the strip mall, the only place I had ever visited in the strip mall was this teriyaki place, and it was run by it's Raccoon Corpse. That's concerning.
I've seen spice dens cleaner than this.
You can lower your weapon. There are no rat ghouls in here. The late Private Rallan dispatched the last of them before succumbing.
What about the security team? Did any of them make it?
Unfortunately, no. The rat ghouls took us by surprise. There weren't supposed to be colonies in this area. I'm Fixer 15, by the way. You can call me Dr. Lokin. Watcher 4 assigned me here for a clean-up operation. I assume you're here for a similar reason?
My orders are to find a Jedi called Ki Sazen. I'm told she's been here.
Isn't that interesting? Follow me. Mind the bodies.
Why did I get disappointed?
This laboratory belonged to a man named Godera. Utterly brilliant. Invented everything from durable plastifoam to the death-marked laser. But his relationship with the Republic is rocky. By the time we captured this sector, he was already gone. I came to catalogue the contents of his lab, and I wasn't the first.
Go back to Nasan Godera. What happened to him?
Back in Republic space. But the laboratory hasn't been empty. Watch.
Is that the last of the defenses? Stay on your guard and destroy the monitors. Then find the device.
We stole research, equipment, and something Nason Godera called an ultra-wave transmitter. I haven't a clue what it does. I suggest we pool resources. A fixer and a cipher investigating a thieving Jedi for Imperial intelligence.
I appreciate the offer, Doctor. But why don't you tell me what you know and I'll get out of your way?
If you insist. This wasn't the only recent raid on a science facility. This planet attracts brilliance, and someone has been purloining databanks across the ruins. Based on the pattern, I suspect the Jedi's next target is an abandoned bioresearch facility near a red-level Rakghoul colony. We can find it together.
If you've got a plan, let's hear it.
You should be able to locate the facility by triangulating its signal from the swamps. I'll correlate the data. You intercept the Jedi.
So you're hanging out here, with the corpses and the Rakghouls.
It is my burden. Here's the triangulation device. Give my regards to the toxic swamp.
Anyway, good. Yeah, I didn't know why she disapproved of me saying that, but Godera, isn't it? Dr. Godera, the doctor from the Jedi Knight storyline that he has to rescue? I believe so. But that's not important right now. So yeah, the place I loved is a nice little teriyaki place, and you know, growing up in Walla Walla and growing up in small towns, any Oriental food was very difficult to come by, except for the Thai place. Well, even the Thai place that I worked at for a short while. So going to the teriyaki was like, that's new to me. So I just, went over there one day and decided to try it, and man, I have never tasted fried rice like they made it. And yeah, I went there many other times, and in fact, it became quite a regular over there. Almost every weekend, I'd go over there and go get fried rice. Occasionally, I get teriyaki because the woman working there, she'd go ahead and try to convince me to get teriyaki. She's like, "Oh, you want some teriyaki instead?" And I'm like, no, I want your fried rice. That stuff is delicious. I don't know what you're putting in here, but man, that stuff is delicious. So, all right, throw one on top of him. So yeah, when I moved away, then, okay, but getting back to though, I eventually, because I became a regular, got to know her a little bit better. Once their phones were out and I had a cell phone, this is the early 2000s. And I let her use my cell phone, like, yeah, go ahead, She's like, oh, I got a call, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, go ahead. And she spoke very broken English, but she'd like tell me about her, sons and her daughter. I think she had a daughter. And how they were, mostly she bragged about her son, how he was, going to college, and he's like, I'm going to take care of you someday, and whatever. I think once I came in there and he was working and helping him out because he was home from college at the time. And she's like, oh, I don't remember how it came up. She told me she's from Korea, and being a country bumpkin, small town, I not had teriyaki before and did not know there was a North Korea, South Korea, and I kind of knew a little bit that there was North Korea. I didn't realize the politics of it all and everything. So She's like, oh, Korea. I go, oh, north or south? And she's like, this like nasty look on her face, like, how dare you even ask him? She goes, the south. Like, how dare you even ask if I'm from the north? Kind of look at me, I'm like, okay, sorry. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And she tried fixing me up once with her niece, but her niece lived in Korea. And
You
she
and me?
barely spoke
Getting
English. And
good.
she's like, oh, here, you write to this email address, tell them that you know me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty certain your niece is gonna go like, yeah, you gave my email out to some strange American guy. And why? So, and it never happened. She's like, oh, you got she'd always ask, you got a girlfriend, you got a date? No. Nope. Just get my fried rice. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go watch some TV, which always meant Saturday night was anime nights on Toonami, and sometimes I'd go ahead and rent something. Maybe go to Scarecrow and get some. Scarecrow is awesome. I'm still glad they're around. Just wish I was able to rent from them a lot more. So, but yeah, I was like, nope, just gonna go ahead and go home, chill out with my cat. Back when my cat used to still be alive, or when it wasn't alive, I just chill out at home, or this Saturday was Friday, going out with family. So, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Eventually, I kept going there. After I'd moved out of the Seattle area, I ended up buying a house in like 2004 and moved out of the area. And I'd go back still, almost every weekend, almost every Saturday, I'd still go back there and go get the fried rice. I got my brother addicted to it too, and he's like, oh, next time you go, give me some fried rice. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I've never tasted it. It's just so good. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what she's doing to this fried rice, but it's so good. And I asked her, I was like, what do you put in? How is this so good? And she tried to like explain to me, and I couldn't understand between the thick accent and me not understanding how to cook, authentic, how to cook it. Was it authentic Japanese, Korean fried rice, or I don't know if she thought it was Chinese fried rice. I don't know not knowing how to cook the fried rice normally. Yeah, I just couldn't. I mean, because I usually pick up pretty good on cooking stuff, but it was beyond me. Man, was that fried rice good. So, yeah. I ended up moving, and eventually, then I met my wife, and then we were dating and doing stuff on Saturdays. So then I eventually, one day I took her there and had her meet him, and she got some yakisoba, and I got some teriyaki, and I got the fried rice, and she's like, oh, that's good, really good fried rice, but I don't want fried rice, I want this, I want noodles, so, and then started, drifting apart, and that's the way things work, Your life changes, drift apart, and eventually, we kind of, when we got married, we invited them, but they worked all the time. It's like it was her, she was doing cooking and waiting tables, and her husband he was just a cook. I think he cooked and did dishes, whatever. So it's basically just the two of them working this restaurant this entire time. And I think one time that she liked me, I was there. She told me I came in to get fried rice, and she's like, oh, there's trying to be quietly telling me, and there's that guy over here. He's being suspicious in the restaurant. Can you hang out? And I was like, yeah, I'll hang out. I'll sit over here. I'll just sit over and read the newspaper for a little bit, pretend I'm waiting for food or something, whatever, until he leaves. And because she said, oh, I talked to her friends. Her friends, they got robbed, and this guy, he doesn't look. I think she said he has crazy eyes or something like that. Looks very suspicious. So I'm like, all right, I'm cool. I can do that. And she's like, oh, thank you. I'm like, hey, that's not a problem. If it keeps you from getting robbed, I don't mind. If that's all it has, I'm not one of those people that scared. Like, no, what if he gets violent? Like, I don't care. As I've mentioned before in one of these Which for I've gotten people, you know, my mom's ex-boyfriend's got violent with me, so I'm okay with, you know, somebody gets violent with me, I'm like, whatever. It's not the first time someone's gotten violent with me. I don't want to have to fight, but I will. I can hold my own if I have to. But I'm also not going to run from one, you know. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. By the time our kid was born, we were like, my wife and I, we just stopped going there after a while, because it's like, where's the triangulation? Oh, it's right here. This thing. Okay. See what he's got to say.
This is Chance to Leggett. Come in, Leggett. I know you're busy, sir, so I'll keep it short. Any progress finding Ki Sazen?
No. I forgot.
I'm drowning in toxic chemicals, and you want a status report?
Yes, sir. I may be running this operation, but I'm also here to help you. So please contact me when things calm down, or if anything changes. All right?
Can't talk now. Some sort of electrical discharge.
Yeah, I'm trying to do something. Just back off for a second, okay? Okay? Yeah, but, you know, my wife and I, after a while, you know, we were going to see her family. You know, life just changes, so we didn't go back there for a while. And next thing we know, like, you know, our kid was being born. We're like, oh, we should go. Our kid was born. We're like, hey, she would love it if we, you know, if we came by and just, you know, hey, by the way, we had a baby, da da da, and maybe they'd like that. And we came by and oh no, my wife was pregnant, and we were gonna announce it, you know, let them know. It's like, oh, having a baby, and yeah, the place was still open, but they had new owners. So it's like, oh, so I asked like, hey, what happened to the owners who were here before? And like, oh, they. Like her son had promised her. He graduated from college and he'd gotten a nice lucrative job, and he basically told him and his mom and dad, like, hey, I want to take care of you guys. You took care of me and helped me get through college. I'm going to take care of you now. So, yeah. You know, sometimes you hear the kids say that and like, yeah, that's nice. I know you want to take care of your parents, but then you get older and you're like, yeah, I can't afford to take care of my parents. Apparently he was in a position where he could take care of his parents, which is great for all them. But I do miss, man, I missed that fried rice. I wish I knew how they did it. Did I get it? All right. One more spot? Well, of course, one more spot. It has to be a triangle. That's what triangulation means. Yeah, there's been like some really good food. I know I started talking about one thing and I'm talking about food again. There's been good food I've had before. It's like, man, you know, look up online, you ask people for recipes, stuff like that, and oh man, there's these cookies that okay, so the first place in my current job, the first location that we were at in this building, and we were how long? I was with, okay, when I started with them, they were in the building for a few months after I started. Actually, no, they were in the building for over a year after I started. A few months. But there was this place that was up on like the penthouse almost. But they had this restaurant, and man, these cookies. I went up there once. I got cookies from I was invited up once because it's usually partners and stuff like that go up there. But let me take this holocommunicator call. Interrupting my gameplay, interrupt my stories.
Cypher, I think we have our lead. I'm receiving faint signals from an old Tarisian transport station. Were I a betting man, I'd say our bio-research lab, our Jedi's next target, is in there.
Any idea where Sazen is now?
None. And I can't even say whether she'll visit the facility personally. That's where your field expertise comes in. I look forward to your findings.
Yeah, make me do all the dirty work. Oh, I know exactly. Okay, transfer station 5. You know what, though? I am going to actually have to do that another time. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to play that much tonight. Sorry, I got a lot going on, but going back to cookies, because cookies are awesome. Yeah, I had these cookies. There was like it was like this restaurant in the penthouse. And I'm being shot at. Shoot at me.
Rise and shine.
Oh, you all want some too? Huh? I got enough for all of you. Who else wants some? Mess with Cleo? You get a shot in the face. But yeah, so this, you know, let's just do it this way. Okay, where's the cantina? Yes, we'll go to the cantina from here. Just quick travel out there. Get these cookies. I had them once, and I can't. It's like this butterscotch tasting. They were like really soft, like a butterscotch-ish taste. And I looked it up. I could not, for the life of me, figure out how to make these cookies.
You won't find a better bargain.
And the internet existed back then, so you know, I'm looking up on the internet. I'm asking coworkers. I'm asking.
Come back anytime.
The assistant to the partner who, you know, I was like, hey, you've been up there many times doing these cookies. And he'd bring me the cookies after then. He's like, oh, yeah, we went up and had lunch again up there. And, you know, and they had some cookies, so I brought you down one. I was like, oh, man, I love these cookies. I don't know what they're made out of, but I love them. And it's like this fudge taste. They were so good. But, yeah, that place, I think it's gone. We moved out of the building. A lot of places moved out of the building. I think they shuttered the restaurant there, too, before we moved, but... Man, there's some places, oh man, you find some good food. I know, I'm going on about food. I need to close this up. Okay, enough about food. So, once again, thanks for watching. Maybe next time I'll come back on, I'll be talking about some delicious chicken skins. I'm kidding. Yeah. If you watched Bill Burr's Apples for Family, you know what I'm talking about. All right. Thanks for watching. Until next time.